This video is brought to you by HockeyMonkey.com, your one-stop shop for the best prices on all the latest and greatest hockey gear. Be sure to use coupon code HR4U7 at checkout to receive 7% off any order. Hey guys, Josh from HockeyReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review of the Easton Mako hockey gloves. These are the top-end gloves currently on offer from Easton. They have a retail price of $170 US. And as far as design goes, these are fairly out there. They have quite a few unique features that are exclusive to the Mako silo. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. First things first, let's talk about the physical appearance of the Easton Mako gloves. Easton really went for it as far as designing a pair of gloves that would stand out from the crowd in terms of physical appearance. The standout feature here is definitely the finger tendon-like design on top of the fingers. You have this shiny plastic with a faded graphic. On this color, it fades from black to red, which is very, very vibrant and very noticeable on the black nylon backing for the fingers themselves. And when you actually put the gloves on and start moving your fingers around, you can see those tendon-like graphics move around with your fingers, kind of showing off the Mako design, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the video. But like I said, a very distinctive feature of this glove that some people are going to love the look of and other people's are just going to hate. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the overall appearance, but I can say that from wearing them, people really did notice these gloves, and a lot of people gave some pretty positive comments in regards to how they look. As far as the rest of the finishes on the glove itself, you're going to find that the majority is a nylon material, keeping it nice and lightweight and giving it a pretty high quality appearance in my opinion. You're also going to have some shiny synthetic overlays, mainly in the thumb area where you will find your Mako branding. And then going around the top, you're going to find a really nice embroidered Easton logo that I'm personally a really big fan of. Another distinctive feature of all the Mako gloves are the white palms that are very, very bright. And every single colorway of the Makos will have that white palm. You can even see that the palm extends into the cuff area, which is kind of a cool and unique feature. You're going to find one more Easton logo, and for the most part, it's just a really nice looking set of palms, at least in my opinion. So as far as appearance goes, it's a little bit more modern, definitely not for everybody, but if it's your thing, then by all means go for the Easton Mako gloves. Next, I want to talk about the overall fit and mobility of the Easton Mako gloves. Of course, anything that has that Mako name has to live up to some pretty high expectations, and I have to say that all the Mako products that I've tried thus far definitely have unique design elements about them that I haven't experienced from any other equipment, and the same goes for the Mako gloves. The main technology here, or the main innovation I should say, is the fast finger technology that Easton has implemented here in the four main fingers on the gloves. Now you can see that the tips of the fingers have a pretty standard split right there at the end, right at that last knuckle, to give you maximum flexibility right at the tips of your fingers. What's different about the rest of the fingers is you can see that there are no slits on the outside of the glove whatsoever, and that's because they have implemented, like I said, their fast finger technology, where essentially what they've done is instead of splitting the glove from this way, they flipped it over and they split the glove the other way. So instead, these fingers are going to still move very naturally with your hand, but you're not going to have any gaps in the protection. It's a very good idea by Easton, and it truly does have a nice natural feel on your hands. The fingers are extremely easy to move. There's no restrictiveness whatsoever, and regardless of how it looks on the outside, like I said, there's no restrictiveness whatsoever. They move very, very freely from brand new. No break-in time required whatsoever, and it definitely is nice to have those zero gaps of protection. Now, as far as the thumb goes, this is where I was a little bit surprised. I was expecting something a little bit more natural feeling, but it's a pretty standard one-piece thumb. There's no extra flexibility to it whatsoever, but honestly, I'm not complaining about it. I didn't have any problems with it whatsoever. Just something that I was expecting to be a little bit different with that fast finger design of the rest of the glove. Now, as far as the overall fit goes, I would say that it definitely is a tighter fitting glove overall, especially in the palm area. There's not a lot of extra room in the backhand as well as on the fingers. They do have, like I said, a more snug feel about them, whereas the cuff, I would say, is fairly open. There's not really much restrictiveness to it whatsoever. You can see you do have the one little split right here, so you have pretty good range of motion in the wrist area. And for the most part, I don't feel like this is restrictive at all. You're going to have a nice free range of motion in the fingers, very, very flexible, a fully locked in thumb, and plenty of mobility in the cuff area. As far as sizing goes, I wore a 14-inch glove for review, which is what I normally wear, and I would say that these run true to size. Average length fingers, average width to the glove, nothing about it is particularly unusual when it comes to the overall fit. When it comes to protection, again, the fast finger technology of the Makos is the highlight feature here. Even when your hand is closed and you're holding a stick, you don't have any extra gaps in the fingers like you normally would on a standard pair of gloves. So you're getting maximum coverage at all times. And as far as the fingers themselves go, they're made from a high density foam, and you have your plastic cap overlays on each individual finger. So protection, for the most part, is very, very good without much extra bulk. As far as the rest of the glove goes, again, you're going to have your high density foams with some plastic cap overlays here around the side of the hand as well as in the thumb area. So for the most part, very, very well covered across the entire hand. Moving on to the cuff area, you're just going to have a very high density foam here, decent protection, and as you can see, the cuff itself is relatively short, so there's not a whole lot of wrist coverage, but for the most part, nothing feels particularly vulnerable. You have a nice range of motion, and everything is still pretty well covered. So it's a fairly lightweight style design. There's not a lot of bulk to this glove, but you have those high density foams and the plastic caps over top nearly across the entire glove. So for the most part, should you get slashed in the hand or something like that, you're going to be getting some pretty good overall coverage. Next, let's talk about the palms and overall durability of the gloves themselves. Now, as you can see, the palms do have a fairly unique aesthetic about them, not only because they're white, but also because there's kind of a unique design here going across the middle of the hand, which looks very cool, but really doesn't serve much of a purpose when it comes to overall performance and the actual feel of the palms themselves. Now, this is what Easton calls a whiteout AX suede palm. So the palms are made from a very thin, very premium feeling suede material. You do get some really nice puck feel because of how soft and how thin the palms actually are, especially in the fingers. You can see that there are some perforations in the fingers as well, so you're going to get some nice breathability out of these particular gloves if that is something that concerns you. It wasn't a super noticeable feature in my opinion, but it is something that is actually there. As far as this design here goes in the middle of the palm, it's pretty much there for looks from what I can tell. It doesn't appear to be any grippier or any more durable feeling than the rest of the palm. It's kind of just a change up in the graphic itself just to give the glove a unique look, and you will find that this gray graphic does wear off on your top hand relatively easily, but of course that will more or less be determined on the type of tape job you have on your top hand. Everything changes varying on that tape job. Now, as far as the palms themselves in terms of how they feel on the stick, like I said, you get some really nice puck feel because they are on the thinner side. I also did find that the palms themselves seem to provide a little bit more grip on the stick than an average set of gloves. Especially if you are using a grip style hockey stick or grip coated hockey stick, you'll notice that the first time you use these, they're going to feel really, really sticky on the stick, which does take some getting used to. It does start to wear away once you start to use the gloves and kind of get used to it. But for the most part, if you like something that's going to offer a really, really good grip on your stick, these palms are going to do that for you. As far as durability goes, like I said, the bottom hand really has very, very little wear, if any at all. The majority of the wear is going to be on your top hand, and other than just the gray graphic kind of wearing away, I didn't have many issues with palm wear whatsoever. So for the most part, durability seems to be pretty good with these palms, even though they do seem to be relatively thin and very, very soft. So, do I recommend the Easton Mako hockey gloves? Absolutely yes. It's a very unique design. It ties in well with the rest of the Easton Mako product line, and it truly does have some unique design elements about it that set it apart from any other glove out there on the market. I think that the fast finger technology that Easton has implemented on the Makos is truly innovative, really does work, and feels absolutely incredible in terms of overall maneuverability and just free range of motion in the fingers themselves. The palms are very high quality. They have a nice grippy feel, which is something that I was personally a big fan of. And they're just very, very comfortable gloves. You have nice protection with minimal bulk and a nice range of motion overall. So if all of that sounds good to you, then this is definitely a glove to consider. Also, the appearance is definitely something worth taking into consideration. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But some people absolutely love the look of this glove. And like I said, if it is something you like the look of, then by all means take a look at the Easton Makos. Now, if you guys are interested in getting a pair of these for yourself, there will be a buy it now link in the description of this video, along with an exclusive HR4U7 coupon code, allowing you to pick these up well below the $170 retail price. So be sure to go ahead and check that out if you are are at all interested. If you have any questions regarding this glove whatsoever, feel free to leave me a comment down below. Also, if you have any suggestions for other pieces of equipment you'd like to see a review on, again, leave a comment. I'm open to hearing any suggestions that you guys may have. Other than that, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for more reviews on all the latest and greatest hockey gear. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.